And Amanda, these people have been here since 9 o'clock this morning rallying. They started off on the sidewalks at the state capitol. They worked their way around the back of the state capitol, and now they walked over to the front of the state capitol demanding the attention of senators. They say it is their last chance to stand up for this before it gets voted on in the Senate. The message they're sending here today, telling lawmakers it's not their decision whether children get vaccinated or not.
My body, my choice.
A message heard vocally and on posters. Thousands of parents and their children lined the LOB and the state capitol early in the morning, filled with emotions, most of it frustration and anger.
Because the virus is sweeping across the country. And it's not COVID-19, it's communism.
Just last week, lawmakers spent up to 16 hours debating this controversial bill in the House, one that would remove Connecticut's religious and medical exemption for schools, beginning with the 2022 school year. Parents telling Fox 61 it is not up to lawmakers to decide what goes into their children's bodies.
It's not something I'm willing to do. I don't co-parent with the government. I co-parent with my husband, and I'm doing what's best for my children and my body.
Some Republicans opposing this bill, calling it a government overreach, but Democrats argue this is the right way to prevent outbreaks from happening in schools. The bill does not force children to be vaccinated, but it does bar unvaccinated children who do not qualify for medical or religious exemptions from enrolling in school. Those vaccinations include measles, mumps, rubella, and several others. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. speaking at the rally, urging senators to vote no on the bill.
We need some long-term studies that show that if you take it, you're actually a healthier human being.
But on the flip side, those who support this bill says a vaccine could have saved their life. Francesca Testa says she was in the hospital for days from meningitis, and had she gotten the vaccine, it would have not happened.
As someone who had one of these vaccine preventable diseases, it's devastating that parents don't want to prevent their children from having the same thing that happened to myself and my family.
And I'm told this bill could be voted on in the Senate either tonight or early tomorrow morning. And you can expect more from Fox 61 for the latest developments. I'm live at the state capitol. Carmen Chow, Fox 61 News.